You are obviously going to need a t-shirt, chalk, and something to cut your shirt with. The first thing I'm going to do is get an old tank top that I actually really like the cutout of, and I'm just going to lay it on top of the t-shirt that I'm going to DIY, because this is like the kind of like inspiration that I'm using from my future tank top. So I'm just going to use it and put some chalk on it to do the outline, and then I will just be cutting it out because this seems like really easy to me because I've messed up on tank tops in the past. So if you use like an old tank top as like a layout, it'll make it so much easier for you. Okay, so now I'm going to start cutting it out with my rotary cutter, and I love these. They're super easy and super nice to work with, except I cannot cut for my life. As you can see, I clearly messed up and went outside of the lines. I don't think I've ever stayed inside the lines for anything in my entire life, so that's no big deal. If this happens to you, just go back in with your scissors or a rotary cutter again and just fix it up. It didn't even mess up my shirt. I still like the way it turned out. There's really no technique for this, but the last thing I'm going to do is just cut off a little bit of the bottom to make it a little bit more cropped for me. Okay, so now on to the actual fun part of the DIY. I took a ruler and I started drawing little triangles at the bottom of my shirt, and the reason I took a ruler is because I wanted there to be a little space, so when I cut out the triangles, I didn't actually like cut too far because that would kind of ruin the shirt, but that was actually really difficult to keep the ruler on the shirt, so what I ended up doing is just taking the ruler and sliding it across the shirt with some hot pink chalk so I can see the line actually, and just working from there because it made it so much easier to like follow the lines, and the triangles turned out pretty good, so I suggest that if you want your triangles to be in sync. And then I'm just going to take some scissors and begin cutting them out. So that's really easy because all you need to do is just cut on one side because you just want to pinch both the sides together and just make sure your scissors go through both sides. It may be kind of complicated actually because you're trying to go through two pieces of fabric. That's why it's such a good idea to have fabric scissors for this because it'll work 10 times better, I promise you. So as you can see, I am almost done, and this is kind of a tedious task, so definitely take your time with it because you don't want to mess up, because if you cut too close to the bottom, your shirt will definitely be ruined. Trust me, there's no way to fix it. I did mess up the first time, but hey, everybody makes mistakes, and I'm not trying to be Hannah Montana, I'm just trying to be serious. But there's something that I did notice, so shirt is definitely kind of big on me, so for you guys, I think this would make a perfect bathing suit cover-up. I think it's super cute, and that's probably what I'll be using it for mostly because it is a little big, but it's so conservative. Now my DIY bathing suit cover-up is complete, and something you guys could do is turn this inside out and do the entire thing on the inside so the chalk doesn't show, or you can just throw it in the washing machine so all the chalk comes off. But yeah, I'm done. Even though I labeled this as a swimsuit cover-up, I decided to pair it with shorts and a bralette. My shorts are from American Eagle and my bralette is from Aerie. I love the bralette. It's super cute. It's so perfect for summer and it looks really good under this tank top. And then I'm also wearing flip-flops from Old Navy. DIY, you will need a shirt, scissors, and some studs. First thing I'm going to do is just lay my shirt down to kind of show you guys how this can happen. I didn't go this way, but you guys can probably do this if you want it to be more precise. You know, your cuts want to be really equal. So from the neckline across, you can get a ruler and some chalk and just draw a line and then cut your things diagonally so they're all like even and nothing is like uneven, but I decided just to eyeball it and actually like the way it turned out. You know, I didn't have to take the time to do that because it would have kind of like taken away the time to like edit and film and stuff because this is a really long video, so I kind of just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna eyeball it, who cares, and actually it turned out super good, so I really like that. But if you wanted to be precise, definitely use some chalk and make the lines so you don't mess up. So all I'm doing is just diagonally cutting some lines in my shirt. You know, you don't want to go into the back, so just make sure you're picking the shirt up and just cutting the front. But if you were to use scissors and some chalk and a ruler, these lines would actually be getting shorter from each other, but I made mine all the same length. Still looks perfectly fine. You can do it however way you want, but you know, that's just the way that it's supposed to go actually, because then it ends up being completely even and, you know, symmetrical with the other side, but mine's pretty symmetrical and I like it. Now it's time to start the fun part, which I feel like I say a lot, but every time you do DIY, it's kind of fun always. So take your studs and we are going to stud up the shirt. So basically what we're going to do is take two of the strings and stud them together on the top and the bottom, just like that. Be very careful because, yes, studs are really sharp. That's kind of the point. That's how they kind of like stick to the fabric. So if you need to use like another tool, like maybe your scissors to close the studs, just do it. But I was kind of a trooper and I just used my fingers and my nails, but don't have to be like me. It's okay. Once you have all the strings studded together, you're going to take two of the middle strings and stud those together just like so. Basically, you're going to be getting like a diamond shape, so if you don't get a diamond shape, you're kind of doing something wrong, but I'm literally showing you what to do. It's super simple, like basically grab two strings, stud them together, boom, you got a diamond. You could definitely be done and just leave it like that, but there are little extra pieces like towards the bottom and the top that are really small and you might not even be able to get studs in them, but I decided why not? Let's make another diamond, let's make more studs. The more studs, the better. It just looks 10 times cooler with all these studs. And then I'm done. I have tons of diamonds on my shoulders, but not really. They're really just studded diamonds. But hey, it's pretty cool. So I decided to pair the studded shirt with high-waisted shorts from American Apparel, which looks super cute, and even Pudge liked it, so I guess I'm doing something right. And then I also decided to pair it off with some blue low-top Converse because blue and blue and blue and blue. Yeah, I love blue. Can you tell? The Golden Globes are lined with affluence and... For the third DIY, you're going to need a t-shirt, fabric scissors, hot glue gun, and some lace. This lace is actually from an old t-shirt, so you don't actually have to go out and buy a whole new lace, just look around your house for some. The first thing I'm going to do is turn my t-shirt inside out because I will be working with the inside of the shirt at the bottom. I don't want a hot glue lace on the front of the shirt because, well, that would just kind of look weird. Next, I'm just going to line up the lace on the bottom of my shirt to see how far I want to cut, and I just kind of eyeballed it because you can't really draw with chalk on lace. Then I decided to cut it with some super cool scrapbooking scissors, but yeah, that did not work out so well. I just kind of lost the footage of me cutting with my actual fabric scissors, so here's this instead. But at the end, I did actually like add a little bit of design at the bottom with these fabric scissors. It was just kind of hard to cut with it initially. Once you cut all your strips out, then you will start hot gluing it, and I would go in like tiny sections because hot glue will dry and it won't stick to your shirt anymore. And I like the fact that I used a lace shirt to put on this shirt because it kind of had like a shirt trim that made it easier for the hot glue and the actual lace to stick to the shirt, because gluing lace to a shirt would have been so much more messy and I probably would have got burned way more than I already did from doing this DIY. Once you glue up your last piece of lace, then you can turn your shirt inside out and begin using your scrapbooking scissors to kind of trim up the ends of the lace to make them not only even but less rough and a little bit more girly and sweet, because that is the point of lace, to look classy, elegant, and sweet. There's really no technique to this. It's basically just cutting. Just try to make it as even as possible and go in little sections. Don't try and go all the way around or you might mess up. Next, using the sleeve of my lace shirt, I'm just going to line up to see how long and how big I want my pocket to be, and then I'm just going to begin cutting to my desire. I've been wasted away, but in a time when going out, there's not much else to do anyway. This is what my final product for my pocket looked like, and now basically I'm just going to glue it all together. So I'm going to glue the two sides and the bottom and not the top because I actually want it to be like a real pocket. To avoid the bottom of the pocket getting frayed, I'm just going to fold up a little piece and then glue that to the pocket. Finally, you are almost done with your shirt. The last thing you need to do is just glue the pocket to the actual shirt, which is pretty easy. All you need to do is just take your hot glue gun to 4 of the sides or 3 of the sides if you want it to be a real pocket and put stuff in it. Just don't glue the top of the pocket, which that will allow you to put actual things into the pocket, which is a real pocket. All you need to do is just quickly glue the glue onto the pocket and then slide your hand onto the shirt and press down, because if you don't put your hand onto the shirt, the pocket will glue to the back of the shirt, which will ruin the shirt because it'll make it unwearable. Just like that, your final DIY shirt is complete, and now you just transformed this random t-shirt into a beautiful lace masterpiece. For my last DIY, I decided to pair the shirt with some really cute chevron shorts that I got at Buffalo Exchange, which is located in Texas. So if you live in Texas, definitely check out Buffalo Exchange. It's kind of like a Plato's Closet, so that's really cool. And then I paired the outfit with some super cute Nine West sandals, and there you have it. That's my last outfit.
Where are you now that I need you?